Hi guys, so we are back and I am a little late on making the second video on Sky's update on her shower. If you remember in our last video, we were talking about how when parrots molt, they can look really rough. Their feathers can be astray, sometimes they're missing feathers, sometimes they're blotchy, and I was explaining that is actually really normal for when a parrot goes through a molt. Depending on where you are in the region, in the country, parrots can go through molts twice a year, sometimes 3-4 times a year. So I was explaining how a simple shower can help their rough looking feathers. So I am here to show Sky. Now I am a little late in showing her. Her shower video was probably around 4 weeks ago. And as you can see, her feathers have really evened out. Step up. Step up. And they've brightened up, they've smoothed out, and she looks a lot better. Now that was only with one shower, so I'm gonna give her another shower tonight and make an official second part of that video for the shower to answer any questions customers have sent my way again about showers and bathing. There's also different shampoo products that you can use for the parrots, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, but I just wanted you guys to see how much better she looks. And at the bottom of the video, I'm gonna put a little picture of a reminder of how rough she looked in the first video. So today, Sky needs a nail trim, and we're gonna show everyone how we do nail trims. So I have 2 towels in front of me here, and one towel we're going to wrap Sky with. And the other towel I always like to have as a base towel. This is just my habit, not a lot of people do this, but when we wrap our parrots and our towels to do their nails, I find that I like to put a little extra cushion on the counter because we are laying them on it, and I'm sure it could feel a little uncomfortable without the cushion. So okay, so we're going to start off by grabbing Sky with the towel because we need to wrap her up so we can trim her nails. They always yell, always. Now, you always want to turn them over on their back on the second towel. Now, I have Sky's beak with my hand, and I'm not just wrapping her up. I'm feeling her breathing, and I'm feeling her body language. Sky's nails have been trimmed before, so this is a known process for her. Now, if it was a bird who's never had their nails trimmed, sometimes it's a wild-caught bird that people bring to me, or just a bird who's never been manicured, sometimes they do stress out, and you want to make sure that they're not breathing super fast. So let's do that again. So here's Sky. And I'm going to grab her with the towel. And it's always a fast process. I'm going a little bit slower because I'm trying to record this, but it's actually a really fast process. Okay. It's normal that they jump. You want to grab her, let her tail out. And the first thing you want to do is grab a Talon and get ready to do the nail trim. So Dennis actually made a really good point. I've trimmed nails, I've trimmed parrot nails at my store a million times, but he did remind me that, especially for people who've never done this before, it's better with 2 people. So I'm going to have Dennis assist me in this one so that you can see. Okay, so here you go. Dennis grabbed Sky with the towel. Put it a little bit more this way, babe. There you go. Okay, and so now we're going to flip her over on the second towel because I want there to be a little cushion. You're gonna watch your hands because you never want to get bit, and they will try to go through the towel and bite you. There you go. So we're both helping each other. Sky's beak is right here. Dennis is feeling her body language. If she pants too hard or stresses out too hard, he will let me know. You always want to have your quick stop and your nail trimmers ready. I did not, but you always want to have that ready. And once you get used to it, it's a fast process. So we take a Talon out. Dennis is making sure that he's holding her in a way that her beak will not come out around the towel and bite him. That's always, you always want to be careful with that. So I have my first nail. You always want to apply pressure because the pressure stops the blood from coming out when you clip the nail. You clip the nail as far as you believe you should go. And as you can see, there's a little bit of blood at the tip. You take the Quick Stop powder and you pack it. That's going to stop the blood. Make sure you pack it good. I always give it a few seconds to make sure it's not bleeding anymore. And then you can let go of the toe. And you go to the next one. So I'm going to do the whole Talon here. Now Sky's been through this process before. I think my customers will remember me saying that I actually raised her. So I know her stress level, I know she can handle this. But you always want to be aware of the bird's stress level. Sometimes you can get a wild caught bird. Sometimes you can get a bird who hasn't had a lot of manicures and they will stress out. So if it seems that the panting is just extreme and they're screaming, give them a break in between. There are people who really do not like the sight of blood and they don't like to see their pet in distress, and that's completely normal. If this is something that you feel that you can't do, definitely take your parrot to a vet because they do need the grooming. So here's Sky again. We're going to do her second Talon. And she is perfectly fine. Straighten her head. It's okay. It's okay. Always talk to your parrot, guys. You'd be just like any other pet. You'd be surprised at how well your voice can calm them. It's okay. It's okay, Sky. It's okay. Now sometimes they do react because the Quick Stop does sting. I tried it on myself once. It is not a soft feeling. Now we're both applying pressure to control Sky. That's why it's always good to have a partner when doing this. Now with birds that have white nails, you can see the quick easily. So sometimes you can cut the toenail so that no blood comes out. But with parrots like macaws that have the black toenails, you're not going to be able to see where the quick stops on the toenail. So again, that's why it's always handy to have the Quick Stop powder. But even on birds with white toenails, you want to still have some Quick Stop powder handy just in case anything happens. And don't forget, always apply pressure on that toe because the toe stops any blood that's about to come out. And it will release the flow once you release the toe. And there you go. She's all done. You let them go. Hi. Hi. And always make sure to give them love because they're going to be a little stressed out, but they'll survive. Hi. It's okay. So we're all done clipping Sky's nails. She didn't bite me, guys. She always makes it look dramatic. She didn't bite me. She's just a little grouchy right now because her toes probably sting. That's completely normal. See, I trust Sky and I know Sky. I know she won't bite me. But for new bird owners and for more sensitive bird owners, as soon as your bird gets a manicure, I call it manicure, But as soon as your bird gets a manicure, they might be a little grouchy because the quick stop does sting. So just give them a few minutes to relax and to just calm down. At my store, the customers used to put them back in their crate, put a little millet in there, comfort food, and then by the time they got home, their bird was a lot better. So what we used today was Quick Stop. I'll put a picture of it. I'll try to put a picture of it at the bottom of the video. There are different brands. There's the Miracle Care, actually branded Quick Stop, KWIK Stop. This is what I used at the store a lot. I found that this was more reliable at stopping the blood faster than other brands. I'm not saying that other brands don't work. In an emergency, I used to use Remedy Recovery septic powder. It says stop the bleeding. I'll try to put a picture of it down at the video, down at the bottom of the video. But I sometimes felt that this brand, the second brand, didn't stop the blood from flowing as fast as the actual Quick Stop did. So, I mean, it's just my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion. I'll never say I'm right, but that is just with my experience. So, some people use regular nail cutters to trim birds' nails. I don't recommend that. A bird nail is curved if you ever really look at it. And when you try to use a regular nail cutter, oh, I always cringe because you're taking a straight nail cutter on a curved nail. So to me, that would, I just feel that would make the bird feel really uncomfortable. So I always use these, I don't even actually know the official term for it, but I always use the curved animal nail trimmers. These are my preferred nail trimmers. They fit the parrot nail perfectly. So, I mean, that's it, guys. A customer just asked me what we have in this box. These are just little neat gadgets, not neat, but necessary gadgets to have if you're an up-and-coming breeder, or you are just into birds, or you have a pet bird. These are rings. Simple rings that you can hang toys on the cage with, because we all know that birds like to take those off and they fall and then we accidentally throw them away. We have 2 septic powders. It's always good to have a few, because we all know that when you need the only one that you have, the only one always disappears. So it's always good to have a backup. Dennis has Vet RX. This is actually a veterinary aid for canaries, parakeets, lovebirds, parrots, cockatiels, finches, and macaws. He can explain this more in another video, but in case your bird ever falls a little ill, or actually this is really good for when you need to quarantine, he recommends Vet RX. Let's see what else they have in here. He also has Nectin S, which is a vitamin supplement for birds, which you always want to keep a handy vitamin for your bird. It's just like humans. We need our supplements to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. He has bird rings. Actually, no, this is not a bird ring. Actually, this is something really cool he found to help splayed leg baby birds. So you can talk about that. Metastatin, this is one of my favorites. Metastatin is good for a bird who's fallen ill with several ailments, actually. So it's one of my preferred. It's MedPet. It's one of my preferred medications. But again, we'll talk medications on another video. But here's actually another nail trimmer. It's always good to have extra things handy for your bird. It's just like having kids. You want that little extra Tylenol laying around, little extra Band-Aids and things like that, because you never know when you'll need them.